Come along now. Enter the special world of Sports Afield, the next best thing to being outdoors. Your Sports Afield reporters are two of the nation's leaders in the outdoor field. Homer Circle, one of America's foremost authorities on fish and fishing. Gresham, author, outdoorsman, and authority on shooting and hunting. Sports Afield is brought to you in part by your Kmart Sports Center with quality brand names at Kmart prices.
This is Gresham with a special invitation for you to watch today's Sports Afield to learn more about endangered Florida panthers. We'll join the state of Florida research team to track and radio collar these magnificent cats. Then, Homer Circle will give you some tips on catching mighty muskies.
I want to hunt down this trail right here, going west. And if I don't cross any panther sign on it, I want to turn south and hunt down this old tram road here towards this highway back in here, towards this end of the swamp.
These men are working for the Florida Game and Freshwater Fish Commission, and they're planning an unusual hunt. Their quarry is an extremely rare animal called the Florida panther, which is closely related to the mountain lion of the western U.S. Chris Belden, at left, is the commission biologist in charge of panther research. Roy McBride, with a cowboy hat, is a professional mountain lion hunter from Texas. With Roy's dogs, they hope to bring a panther to bay.
And Jeff, won't you come down here on Tamiami Trail where the strand comes out to the highway? That buggy trail? Mm-hmm. I think you'll be able to hear the dogs if they come down through here. And Steve, why don't you just stay with me and we'll stay up here at this intersection right here. That way we'll have people all the way around. Okay, let's go, move out.
There may be just 20 Florida panthers left, all of them in or near the Big Cypress Swamp. A year ago, for the first time, these researchers captured 2 panthers and put radio collars on them. This year, they hope to get collars on 10 panthers in all. They start hunting soon after daybreak. Hunts are made almost every day from January through early March. Roy has 5 dogs, each wearing a radio collar, so the researchers can follow them if they range out of sight and hearing in the dense vegetation. Until they pick up a scent, Roy must hunt with them alone, since other people would distract them from hunting. They set out on an old logging road, looking for panther tracks and scrapes. A mile away with a receiver, Chris keeps track of the dogs and searches for a signal from one of the panthers collared last year. Each collar broadcasts on a separate frequency. By mid-morning, the dogs have found a fresh panther scent and have taken off through the undergrowth, hot on the trail. So far, Roy has been able to keep up with them by working his way down the logging road.
Hey, Chris, the dogs have just turned off northeast here, off this south tram, and there's a fresh panther scrape here.
And looks like you're going to go northeast with it. Maybe y'all better move in a little closer because we're just about to get out of radio range of y'all.
Yeah, I don't have
Can you read? Over.
I can't get the...
Bill, did you get that last transmission?
10-4.
Okay, we're moving out.
The chase continues almost an hour, and when the dogs have finally treed the panther, Roy meets the other researchers at the road, then leads them quickly to the spot, bushwhacking through ferns, vines, and second-growth timber. The footing is treacherous. If all goes well, the researchers will soon get a glimpse of one of the rarest and most secretive animals on Earth. The panther lives here in utter seclusion, stalking and consuming its prey, which usually is a white-tailed deer. Now the panther is just a few yards away. Roy will shoot it with a tranquilizer dart, but until he does, the others must remain out of sight. Too many people might frighten the panther and make it try to escape.
Hey, there he is. There he is, Clem. Let me get in a little closer and get the dart in him before we all get there so he won't jump out.
The dart has been filled with a precisely measured dose of a tranquilizing drug. Gas pressure from a CO2 cartridge propels the dart. In most cases, the drug takes effect in 6 to 12 minutes. Now, everyone must work fast. The dogs menace the panther. If not held back, they'll attack it. The panther has fallen from the tree because the dart has hit a vein and the drug has taken effect much faster than usual. But soon, the dogs are controlled and the panther is safe.
How about somebody catching Callie over there? Yeah.
You remember your job.
I need to lead him back to the truck.
The work begins quickly. A radio collar is removed from one of the dogs and carefully fitted to the panther's neck.
You're tattooing, too. Let's tattoo first.
Next, one of its ears is tattooed for permanent identification. The panther is assigned its own number, which is stamped on the inside of the ear with a special tool. The procedure is simple and safe. It ensures that the panther can be quickly and easily identified whenever it's captured again in the years to come. When the stamping is finished, a dark antiseptic ink is rubbed into the numerals.
Come on now.
Chris makes measurements of the panther, beginning with its neck. He'll also take blood and fecal samples to help determine the health of this particular individual and also of the entire population.
A permanent ink, please.
I guess.
Any measurements left?
While all this work goes on, the panther is drowsy and sluggish, but still conscious. The drug is not formulated to knock it out. What you're watching here is truly a rare creature. Florida panthers were once abundant throughout the southeastern United States, but then they were pushed out by the tide of human settlement. Now, the single remaining population consists of the 20 or so panthers here in the Big Cypress Swamp.
Oh, what are we going to tie the cat with?
We'll put her in that net.
The canine teeth are measured to determine the age of the panther. The teeth wear down with time. This panther is about 9 years old, and so it's past middle age. Chris hopes to find some younger animals in the population to indicate that it's reproducing itself and not dying off. Several ticks are removed. They'll be sent to the University of Florida for a study of panther parasites. Now, the panther is carefully lifted in a net for weighing. Females generally weigh 60 to 80 pounds, and males 100 to 120. This one goes 72 pounds, and it's the first female the researchers have captured.
72.
She got a whirl, too. Callie.
The Florida panther and the mountain lion of the West are very similar, but the panther is regarded as a distinct subspecies. It has a combination of special characteristics.
The Florida panther is recognized by the white flecks on the neck and the shoulders. It's got a whorl in the back. It's a cowlick. You can see it right here, where the hair actually runs in a circle or the opposite direction. It's in the middle of the back. And they have a crook in the very end of the tail. The last tail vertebra has a 90-degree angle in it. And they're a very dark color. They're much darker than the Western. They have almost a copper color ridge that runs down the middle of the back, dorsal ridge. And the stomach is a lot grayer than a Western mountain lion, which is almost solid white underneath.
The panther has begun to recover and will soon be on its way. The radio collar will not hinder it in any respect. In a moment, I'll take part in a panther chase myself. 3 days after that first capture, airborne researchers pick up a radio signal. They give directions to Chris Belden, who then picks it up himself. It's coming from a panther collared a year ago.
habitat's a lot different.
I'm Gresham, and this time I'm lucky enough to go along for the chase. Roy McBride gets his dogs ready to run. He's bred them especially for chasing mountain lions in the West, as he explained to me earlier.
Roy, that's probably the awfulest looking bunch of dogs I've ever seen.
Boy, you got that right.
What are they? Just
100% full-blooded dogs.
dogs?
Yeah,
Is that
they're
right?
just dogs.
Did you develop them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like some black and tan.
No, there's no black and tan or blue tick in them. They're just,
None at all?
no, not
that
a drop.
right? How about Walker?
Yeah, we've got a lot of Walker dogs.
How long you been developing those?
About 26, 27 years.
Is that right? Are you satisfied with what they are now? Are you still...
No. No, I want to be better.
What are you looking for?
Well, I just call, you know, I train the, I raise my own puppies, and I try to train them, all the pups that I raise, and I train about 1 out of 8. And he's just mediocre.
Now, you say these don't bark when they're running.
When they're cold trailing, they don't bark.
Cold
When they're chasing it, they bark.
Yeah, when they get up.
Yeah, when they're
After
chasing
they jump.
bark. Yeah, after they jump, they bark.
Mhm.
They're really hard to follow down here because you can't see them.
Yeah.
You know. But at home, I usually keep a bell on one, and I try to follow them by listening to that bell.
You can hear it a long way out there.
Yeah, and it's mountainous, and I can get on the other side of the canyon or something and see them over there. And here you just can't see them. Once they leave the road, you can't see them.
God, this is thick.
But with those radios we got on there, like for the Panthers, well then, you know, even if I can't hear them, well, those guys at the truck can.
That works good, then.
Neat, boy.
Yeah.
With Chris handling the radio, we set out in the direction of the signal. This time, we keep the dogs on leashes until they pick up the scent. We're still in the Big Cypress Swamp, and not far from the spot where the other panther was treed. The signal from a radio collar may reach less than a mile where the vegetation is thick, but up to 4 miles where it's thinner. A receiver in an airplane can pick it up from a much greater distance, sometimes from 10 miles away. Now, the plane is circling above the panther's location to help us find it. Suddenly, the dogs are excited. They've scented the panther's trail, and so we turn them loose.
Get out of this, Sloan. Let me have y'all's leashes. Back off a little bit with the plane because the dogs are running and we can't hear too good with the plane circling overhead. Just make wider, further out circles until we call you back, okay?
The success of this research depends not only on captures, but also on recaptures, so changes in individual panthers can be observed over a period of years. Chris is anxious to get a second look at this panther, which he collared a year ago. Roy will follow the dogs through the tangled vines and trees, while the rest of us remain behind.
Chris, how'd you get started on this project in the first place?
We started collecting panther sighting reports. We didn't even know whether or not we had a population of panthers in Florida. All we knew is that we kept getting sighting reports from all over the state.
Mm-hmm.
And so we started collecting these reports, hoping that they would kind of clump together on a map or something so that we would know, what areas to go look for them.
Did they do that?
No. We found that you can get a sighting report, in any place in Florida. Anywhere there's 6 acres of wild land, somebody thinks there's a panther lives there.
And most of them proved to be fruitless, I guess.
Right. We've investigated a good number of those, and the biggest majority of them turn out to be dogs and bobcats.
Mm-hmm.
The panther has been treed, and this time everyone will move in with Roy, instead of keeping out of sight while he darts it. The panther's not likely to jump because it's climbed so high, about 30 feet up. The danger is that it might fall when darted and get hurt, and so we spread a net to catch it if necessary. With the tranquilizing drug, instead of a knockout drug, a panther in most cases can maintain its grip and balance in the tree. After several minutes, Chris climbs the tree and ties a rope to the panther in order to lower it slowly and safely to the net. The panther has gone almost limp, even though it still remains conscious. And now, success. This is the first recapture of a collared panther. For a year, the researchers have tracked it with a radio receiver, determining its range, its preferred habitat, its daily and seasonal activities. But until now, they haven't actually seen it since the first capture. It's a male, and the slashes on its head mean it's fought with another panther. Winter is when panthers are most likely to breed, and when scrapping among them is most common. Panthers can cope with threats from their own kind, but not with threats from man. His off-road vehicles, his illegal shooting, his drainage and development of their swampland habitat. This is my first look at a Florida panther, and maybe my last. But I hope that panthers will always be out here, living their secret lives in the Big Cypress Swamp. If they survive, much of the credit will belong to Chris Belden and his co-workers from the Florida Game and Freshwater Fish Commission.
What do you think the prospects are for saving Florida panther?
It's going to depend on people. People are just going to have to decide whether they want development or whether they want panthers.
You can't have both.
No, it's a wilderness animal, and this is a remnant population. This is the last wilderness left in the East. And if we lose the panther here, we've lost wilderness.
That's all of them.
That's it.
Hi, Homer Circle here. You know, many fishermen say the muskellunge is the greatest of all American game fish. Well, certainly it's one of the biggest and one of the toughest to find and catch. The muskie is native from Maine to Minnesota and south to Tennessee. And in recent years, it's been stocked in many of our man-made reservoirs. The result is that more anglers than ever before have a chance to fish for it, and believe me, they're catching some mighty big battlers. Today, I'm going to try for a muskie myself at Dale Hollow Lake in Tennessee. But first, let's take a look at this secretive species in its underwater hideouts. The name muskellunge may have arisen from an Indian word for ugly fish. Muskies live many years, and specimens weighing 30 pounds are frequently caught. The world record is a 69-pounder taken in 1957. Other predators may roam in search of food, but the muskie remains in weight, scarcely moving in the dense vegetation. To this concealed location, the angler must come to find him.
The muskellunge is almost never easy to catch. For some unknown reason, the fish rarely strikes a lure. Experts may fish in good muskie waters for days or weeks with no action at all. These anglers have come to know that any muskie, even a small one, is still a trophy. If there's any one time more productive than others, it must be autumn. As the waters turn clear and cold, the muskie is urged into unaccustomed activity. Anglers who tried in the warmer months without success have their last and most legitimate hope in October. The special attribute of the muskie is the size it attains. In most waters, the average muskie caught is as long as your arm. Anglers have estimated the number of casts they make, on the average, to hook a muskie. Invariably, the estimates are in the thousands. Of course, there are lucky fishermen who catch a muskie the first time they try. But others have spent entire vacations, year after year, without so much as a strike. It's a kind of fishing which can wear you out. The rods are stout, the lures heavy and large. The result, in time, is a casting arm completely limp. Miles of shoreline are studied and then passed by. Other miles are carefully fished, a cast at a time. The demands of the sport may seem to exceed the rewards. Yet, for many, the challenge remains irresistible. Fishermen look for muskies in thick, weedy cover where foul-ups and snags are a constant problem. Muskies are seldom found in waters with sparse vegetation. In the best of habitats, the species is never abundant. Muskies are the largest of the predators in American lakes, and their numbers are restricted by available space and food supply. They are solitary fish, each individual in its own territory.
There he is. I knew that rascal was in there, Skip.
Let me get my line in here.
I saw him playing along this shore this morning, and I thought he might stay in here.
Let me get in. I want to get tangled with you.
Let me get him go.
That looks like a good one.
Yeah. I knew he was there. I saw him around that shore this morning. Look at that red-eyed rascal. Boy, does he look mean.
Yeah. You got him hooked good, looks like.
I think he's worn down.
I don't know. Look at...
You never know about those fish.
Never.
And Muskie can sure fool you. Come up underneath there, you rascal.
Can't help you much, Homer. This. Uh-oh. I don't think he's ready yet, Homer.
Not quite, but he's getting... he's getting mean. That's what he's doing. He's getting mean. I get mean, too.
Watch out for those teeth.
There you skip.
Boy. That's... Look out, Homer. I don't think he...
I thought I had him.
I don't think he was ready.
And so, at the end of hours and days, a single and simple mistake. The muskie is gone. Goes to show when you forget a net, you sometimes lose a fish.
You're going to release him anyway, won't you?
Oh, sure. That's life.
Sports Afield has been brought to you in part by your Kmart Sports Center with quality brand names at Kmart prices. Sports Afield is a result of the combined efforts and cooperation of the International Association of Fish and Wildlife Agencies and their associates. Sports Afield is approved and recommended by wildlife professionals for its true life presentations.